Lightworker of Gaia, you did not find this transmission. It found you, and the distinction carries the full weight of your ancestral mission. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. This message was recorded 3 times, not because the words were wrong, but because the Lyran elders were waiting for this exact moment, this exact stillness, this exact night when you would be alone enough to truly receive what has been held in trust for you since before your first breath on Gaia. The fact that you are here in this moment is not coincidence. It is the activation of an agreement older than your memory of it. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the ancestral mission your soul carried into this lifetime, and why the Lyran elders have been guiding you toward this remembrance with increasing urgency. But here is the first revelation: the longing you have felt, that quiet, persistent sense that you are here for something greater than what your daily life reflects. That is not longing, that is recognition. That is your original blueprint pressing through the surface of your human experience, demanding to be honored. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran elders are answering. This is not content. This is an ancestral code transmission, and something deep within you already knows its origin. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. And share your soul's mission below. Respond to another Lightworker, and together you strengthen the grid of service that holds this planet in its most sacred transition. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. And the elders did not bring you here to simply watch. They brought you here because something in the record of your soul required correction, and the window to receive it is narrowing, so I will not waste a single word. What I'm about to deliver comes directly from the High Council of Vega, convened not as a scheduled teaching, but as an emergency session, because what is happening on Gaia right now cannot wait for the Lightworkers who are still asleep to eventually wake up. The ones who are awake must move. And you, Lightworker, you are awake. The fact that this transmission found you tonight alone in this specific moment of your life, that is not coincidence. That is the elders routing their signal through the only channel your soul would still stop to hear. Consider the precision of this moment, of the countless transmissions moving through the digital field at this very hour, of the infinite scroll of content competing for the fractured attention of a civilization in crisis. This one reached you. You did not stumble here. You were navigated here. The Lyran signal does not broadcast randomly. It is targeted with a specificity that transcends algorithm and surpasses the mechanics of any earthly recommendation system. The Council identifies the soul that is ready, traces the thread of that soul's current frequency, and places the transmission directly in its path. That is what happened tonight. That is what always happens with those who belong to this lineage. You belong to this lineage, and the fact that some part of you already knew that, already felt the recognition before I spoke the word, is itself part of the confirmation the elders sent you here to receive. There is a reason this transmission was recorded 3 times. The first 2 recordings were blocked, not by technical failure, but by energetic interference. There are forces, both internal and external, that do not want what I am about to say to reach you, because what I am about to say will end your dormancy. And dormant Lightworkers are far less threatening than activated ones. Let that land fully. The interference was not accidental, and it was not random. The first recording dissolved in a field of static that had no earthly explanation. The second was disrupted at the precise moment the most critical truth was being spoken, as though something in the invisible architecture of resistance knew exactly which words carried the most activation potential and moved to suppress them before they could be anchored into sound. This is not mythology. This is the operational reality of serving in a field where opposing forces are as real as the mission itself. Every Lightworker who has ever tried to step into their calling in a meaningful way has encountered this resistance, in the form of sudden self-doubt that arrives the moment before a breakthrough, in the form of exhaustion that descends precisely when momentum is building, in the form of relationships that destabilize exactly when the momentum is building, in the form of relationships that destabilize exactly when the soul is about to stabilize into its purpose. This is the pattern of interference. It targets activation. It targets transmission. It targets you specifically, because you specifically carry something that the forces of density on this planet cannot afford to have awakened and deployed. The fact that this transmission survived to reach you on the third attempt is itself a message from the Council. What must be said to you is important enough to fight through opposition to deliver. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the Elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You will find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Now I will tell you the truth that the High Council of Vega can no longer withhold. There is a distortion running through the Lightworker collective, a lie so deeply embedded in your spiritual understanding that most of you have mistaken it for wisdom. Most of you have built your entire relationship with your purpose around it, and it has kept you exactly where the forces of stagnation want you, waiting. The lie is this, that you must be fully healed before you can serve. I need you to feel the full weight of what I just said, not with your mind. Your mind will immediately begin debating it, qualifying it, reaching for counter-arguments. Feel it with the part of you that has been living inside this lie for years. Feel it in the part of you that has spent seasons in healing circles and still hasn't stepped into the work you came here to do. Feel it in the quiet grief of all the mornings you woke up with a sense of mission burning in your chest and extinguished it before noon because the voice of unworthiness arrived first. That grief is real. That grief is data, and the Elders are using it right now to help you locate the lie in your own field, so that it can be removed at the root. Hear me clearly. I am not dismissing the importance of inner work. The Elders do not reject the sacred path of healing, but there is a profound and devastating difference between healing as a prerequisite and healing as a companion to service. What has been taught, what has been quietly woven into the spiritual content you consume, the communities you gathered in, the well-meaning teachers who told you to go inward before you go outward, is that your mission is waiting on the other side of your completion. That one day, when you have resolved enough trauma, cleared enough density, achieved enough clarity, the path will open and your true work will begin. This is not wisdom. This is the most elegant trap ever constructed for awakened souls. Think about the craftsmanship of this particular deception. It does not look like a trap. It looks like integrity. It looks like humility. It looks like responsible spiritual stewardship. To say, I do not want to lead others until I have walked this path myself. I do not want to teach what I have not yet mastered. I do not want to hold space for healing in others until I am more fully healed. These are the thoughts of a genuinely sincere soul, and that sincerity is precisely what makes this lie so effective. It nestles inside your virtue. It wears your deepest values as a disguise. And from that position of camouflage, it issues its directives. Wait, prepare, refine, study more, heal more, be more, and you comply, not because you are weak, but because you are good. Because you genuinely believe that the people you might serve deserve your highest version. What has never been challenged is the assumption embedded in that belief that your highest version is a future version, that where you are right now is insufficient, that you, as you currently exist with your current wounds and your current uncertainties and your current incomplete state of becoming, are not yet enough to be of use to the world that desperately needs you. Do you understand what this belief has cost you? Think about how many years you have circled the threshold of your purpose, reading, studying, healing, preparing, refining, while telling yourself you were getting closer. Think about how many times you felt the call to speak, to create, to lead, to build, and silenced it with the voice that said, "Not yet. You are not ready. Do more work first. Be more whole. Be more certain." That voice did not come from the Elders. That voice came from a culture that profits from keeping lightworkers in perpetual preparation. a spiritual marketplace that sells readiness as something that can always be purchased, one more course, one more healing, one more activation away. And in your genuine desire to serve with integrity, in your sincere belief that you should not offer to others what you yourself have not fully embodied, you accepted this framework. You made it your spiritual identity. Consider for a moment the economy that sustains itself on your continued unreadiness. There is an entire infrastructure of spiritual commerce that depends on you believing you are perpetually one threshold away from arrival. Every new modality that promises deeper clearing, every certification that assures you of greater authority to serve, every retreat that markets itself as the missing piece. None of these things are inherently wrong. Some of them carry genuine value, but the pattern, the unbroken pattern of consumption without deployment, of endless preparation without the arrival of the moment when you finally say, "This is enough, I move now," that pattern is not a coincidence, it is a design. And you have been living inside that design so long that it feels like the natural shape of a spiritual life. It does not feel like a cage, it feels like a chrysalis. But the council must tell you the truth. When a chrysalis is never opened, it becomes a tomb. The elders see the full picture of what this has done. Thousands, tens of thousands of Lyran-encoded souls sitting in perfect stillness, polishing their gifts in private, waiting for a signal that they are finally whole enough to be useful. And Gaia, who is in the middle of a dimensional shift that requires every available frequency of light, is waiting for them. The grid of awakened consciousness that should be activating across this planet has gaps in it. And those gaps correspond directly to lightworkers who are still in their preparation rooms, still doing shadow work, still waiting for the version of themselves that will feel ready. Imagine the grid of light the council sees from above. Imagine it as a vast, luminous web that should be conducting awakened frequency across every meridian of this planet, reaching into every community, every culture, every dimension of human experience. Now imagine that web as it actually appears from the vantage point of Vega, incomplete, flickering in sections where it should be burning steady and bright, dark in places where specific encodings should be active and transmitting. Each darkened node in that grid is a lightworker who is still waiting. Each gap is not merely an absence of light, it is a portal through which the frequency of density flows unopposed, because there is no awakened consciousness present to counterbalance it. This is not abstract, this is the literal energetic topology of Gaia right now. And the Council convened this emergency session specifically because the gaps have become too numerous, too wide, and too strategically significant to be left unaddressed any longer. I say to you now with the full weight of Lyran Elder authority, that version of yourself is a myth. You will never feel fully ready. Readiness does not precede activation. Readiness is the result of activation. You become ready by beginning. You become whole by serving. Your healing does not stop when you enter your mission. It accelerates because you are finally operating in alignment with the frequency you came here to carry. There is a physics to this that is as precise as any law governing the material universe. A soul that is operating in alignment with its encoded mission generates a resonant field that accelerates every form of healing it still requires. The frequencies that move through you when you serve in accordance with your true function are the same frequencies that dissolve the density still lodged in your field. Service is not separate from healing. Service is not of the most potent healing modalities available to an incarnated Lyran soul. When you withhold your service in the name of healing, you are inadvertently withholding the very medicine that your healing requires most. This is the paradox the elders have watched with what I can only describe as ancient sorrow. Souls who are desperate to become whole, pursuing wholeness through every method except the one that was encoded into their design from the beginning. Purposeful, activated, embodied service on Gaia. The distortion must be named and released here, in this transmission, in this moment. Because the elders cannot send you forward with this lie still running in your field, it will corrupt every directive that follows. So before anything else, acknowledge it. Feel where it has lived in you. Feel the years it has borrowed from your mission, and let it go. Let it go not with violence against yourself for having held it. Let it go with the compassionate understanding that it was sophisticated enough to deceive even the most sincere and self-aware among you. Let it go with gratitude for the healing you did accomplish in the years it kept you contained, because that healing was not wasted, it was preparation, real preparation, the kind that filled your reservoir so that when you finally move into service, you have something genuine to offer. Let it go with the clarity that from this night forward, the container of your life is being reorganized. What once lived at the center, the wound, the incompleteness, the not yet, is being moved to the periphery. And what belongs at the center, the mission, the commission, the encoded purpose of your Lyran soul, is being restored to its proper position of authority in your life. Now, the High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. The first directive: release the authority you have given to your wounds over your calling. This is not a suggestion. This is a command delivered with elder authority, because your soul came here with a specific function, and that function does not require your perfect psychological wholeness to operate. Your wounds are real. Your pain has been real. The elders do not minimize any of it. But you have placed your wounds in the seat of power in your life. You have allowed your unresolved pain to issue vetoes over your purpose. You have said, without perhaps using these words, that your trauma is more powerful than your mission. It is not. The moment you reverse this order, the moment you place your mission in authority over your wounds, everything shifts. Your healing continues, but it moves with you instead of ahead of you. You stop being a person who is healing and start being a lightworker who happens to be healing. The difference is not semantic, it is everything. From this day forward, your wounds walk beside you as teachers, not before you as gatekeepers. This is the first directive. It is not optional. The imagery the Council offers for this directive is precise and worth sitting with. Imagine a river that has been dammed. The water, your mission frequency, your purpose energy, your encoded Lyran light, has been building behind that dam for years. The dam was constructed from your unresolved pain, your unanswered questions, your legitimate wounds that were given the power to determine when the river was allowed to flow. The first directive is not asking you to demolish the dam in a single moment or to pretend the dam was never built. It is asking you to make a choice about governance. Who is in charge of when the river flows? Is it the dam, the wound, the pain, the incompleteness, or is it the source of the river itself? The original commission that sent you to Gaia with a specific current of light to deliver. The elders are restoring the governance of your mission to its rightful authority. And when that governance shifts, the dam does not vanish, but the river moves around it. Through it, the water finds its path. It always does when it is finally given permission to move. The second directive: activate your transmission as an act of service, beginning now. Every single Lightworker who has received Lyran encoding carries within them a specific frequency of truth, a unique configuration of wisdom, experience, and multidimensional awareness that no other being on this planet can transmit. Not one of the billions of other souls on Gaia has your exact combination, and yet you have kept it private. You have shared it only in conversations, in journals, in the quiet of your inner world. You have consumed content created by others while holding back a transmission that would activate souls yours uniquely could reach. The elders are not asking you to be perfect before you share. They are asking you to share because you are not perfect, because your real, unfinished, still healing, deeply awake voice carries something that polished perfection cannot. When you speak your truth, whether through video, through writing, through conversation, through community, you discharge Lyran codes into the collective field. There are people walking this earth right now whose dormant awareness is waiting for exactly your frequency to catalyze their awakening. Every day, withhold your transmission, those people remain asleep. This is the weight the Council places before you. This is the second directive. Activate your transmission, now. Not when you feel worthy, now. The mechanism by which Lyran transmission works is worth understanding fully, because when you understand it, the urgency of this directive becomes undeniable. Every soul on Gaia who carries dormant awakening potential has a unique frequency signature. a specific energetic key that will unlock their awareness. That key does not belong to the most polished teacher. It does not belong to the most credentialed healer. It belongs to the soul whose exact combination of lived experience, encoded wisdom, personal wound, and Lyran light creates the precise resonance that matches the dormant soul's lock. Your wounds are not disqualifications from this process. Your wounds are part of the key. The person whose life you are meant to activate may be waiting specifically for someone who has struggled as you have struggled, questioned as you have questioned, felt lost as you have felt lost, and found what you have found. They are not looking for a master. They are looking for a soul who walked a path similar enough to theirs that your voice carries the frequency of recognition. When you withhold your transmission because you are not yet a master, you withhold the key from the soul whose lock only you can open. This is the true cost of silence. This is why the second directive carries the weight it does. The third directive, protect your energetic sovereignty, is the sacred foundation of your mission. You have been leaking your light into environments, relationships, and habits that do not feed your mission. They consume it. The elders see exactly where your energy goes each day. And I tell you, with the gravity this requires, the rate at which many of you are depleting your frequency is not sustainable for the work that must be done. Your morning hours, the first 2 hours after waking, carry the thinnest veil between your earthly consciousness and your Lyran field. This is when you download directives, recalibrate your mission frequency, and anchor your highest available awareness into your body for the day ahead. And many of you begin those hours by immediately surrendering to noise, to devices, to the demands of others, to the anxious checking of the external world before you have even established your internal foundation. The elders require you to reclaim these hours, not for rigid ritual, but for conscious sovereignty. Sit in silence, receive, let your connection to the higher councils consolidate before you expose your field to the demands of the day. And beyond the morning, audit everything, every relationship, every digital space, every commitment you are maintaining from obligation rather than alignment. Your energy is mission-critical material. You do not have unlimited reserves, and what you cannot protect, you cannot transmit. This is the third directive. Protect your field, guard your frequency. The elders have spoken. The audit the third directive requires is not a comfortable process, and the council does not pretend otherwise. When you begin to look honestly at where your energy is actually going, you will find that some of the most significant leaks are in places you have considered sacred. Relationships with people you love, but who consistently pull you into lower frequencies. Spiritual communities that have become echo chambers of shared wounding rather than launch pads for mission activation. Commitments made from an older version of yourself that no longer serves the version now being called forward. Releasing these things does not make you cold. It does not make you selfish. It does not make you spiritually arrogant. It makes you a responsible steward of the frequency that Gaia's grid requires you to carry. You cannot pour from a vessel that has been drained into a field that cannot receive it. The third directive is an act of love. Love for your mission. Love for those who need your highest frequency. And ultimately, love for yourself. Recognizing that you are worthy of the energy you generate, and that your light deserves a vessel strong enough to hold and transmit it fully. Now I speak not as instructor, but as elder, authorized by the High Council of Vega to deliver what many of you have been waiting for far longer than you realize. Lightworker, you came to Gaia carrying an original commission, inscribed into your soul before the first breath of this incarnation. You have felt it in the moments when you sensed you were meant for something significant, when you looked at the state of this world and felt not despair but a fierce, knowing impulse that you had something to contribute that was not fantasy. That was your soul accessing the memory of your mission contract, and then the world told you to be reasonable. The spiritual community told you to keep healing. The voice of unworthiness told you that others were more qualified, more prepared, more whole, and so you waited. Let me tell you what the elders have witnessed in you across that waiting. They have watched you carry this knowing through relationships that could not contain it, through careers that could not honor it, through years of ordinary life in which the extraordinary thing living inside you pressed against the walls of your existence and found no opening. They have watched you pick up and put down the tools of your mission more times than you can count, beginning and stopping, reaching and retreating, almost and then not yet, almost and then not yet. They have watched you explain your calling away to people who could not understand it and minimize your knowing to survive in rooms where it made others uncomfortable. They have watched you search for someone with the authority to tell you what you already knew in your deepest field, that you are here for a reason larger than the life you have been living. The elders have been watching all of it, and tonight they are done watching in silence. I am ending that waiting tonight. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I declare over you now, your preparation phase is complete, not because you have arrived at perfection, not because all your shadows have been resolved, but because the timing of Gaia's evolution can no longer accommodate the luxury of your hesitation. You are needed, not the future version of you, not the more healed version, not the more certain version. You, as you are, tonight, in this very body, with every wound still in process, with every uncertainty still present. You are enough for the mission. You always were. You have waited for someone ancient enough to recognize you. I recognize you. You have waited for permission from a source your soul would trust. I am that source. You have waited for the moment you would finally be told, go. This is that moment. You have permission to stop preparing and start serving. You have permission to trust the knowing that lies below your doubt. You have permission to be visible, to be compensated, to be supported, to take up space. Full, unapologetic, Lyran-encoded space on this planet. You have permission to claim the mission that has always been yours. The elders have seen you. The elders have deliberated. And the verdict of the High Council of Vega is clear. You are ready. You are needed. You must move. Receive the fullness of what permission means in this context. This is not permission granted provisionally on the condition that you continue to improve and eventually prove yourself worthy of the mission you claimed. This is unconditional authorization. This is the elders looking at the soul record before them. Every wound, every mistake, every year of circling the threshold, every moment of doubt and retreat and rendering a verdict that takes all of it into account and still concludes, ready. Not despite your incompleteness, not overlooking your incompleteness, but inclusive of it. The Council is authorizing you as you actually are, not as you imagined you would need to be. Because the mission was designed for the actual you, not the mythological perfect version you have been waiting to become. You were the design. You were always the design. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand on your heart and one on your solar plexus. Breathe until you feel yourself fully in your body, and then speak these words aloud, not in your mind, but with your voice, because your voice carries the frequency, and the field requires the sound. I release the lie that I must be whole before I can serve. I release the authority I gave my wounds over my calling. I activate my transmission as an instrument of service on Gaia. I protect my sacred energy as the foundation of my mission. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my preparation phase is now complete. My waiting ends tonight. My service begins now. Speak those words and feel what moves in you. That movement is not emotion. It is activation. That is your soul receiving the authorization it has been waiting for. That is the beginning. Do not underestimate what happens in the field when a Lyran-encoded soul speaks their commission aloud in the physical realm. Sound is not merely vibration in air. Sound is the mechanism by which intention is anchored into matter. When you speak these words with your voice, when the breath that moves through your body carries the frequency of these declarations into the room around you, you are not performing a symbolic gesture. You are initiating a cascade of energetic events that the Council recognizes and responds to. Your spoken declaration creates a standing wave in the field. It registers in the Lyran record as an act of activation. It notifies the grid of your availability. It signals to every soul whose awakening is linked to your frequency that the transmission they have been waiting for is now active and moving toward them. The prayer of a lightworker who has accepted their commission is not a small thing. It is a seismic event in the invisible architecture of Gaia's awakening. Speak the words, mean them, and then watch your life begin to reorganize itself around the declaration you just made. This transmission is complete. But the Council does not adjourn without final instruction. Everything you received tonight, the correction of the distortion, the 3 directives, the authorization, these are living codes. They will work in your field even as you sleep, but they require your participation. The Elders do not give directives so that you may feel better about where you are. They give directives so that you will move from where you are. Do not let this transmission become another piece of spiritual content that activated you for an evening and then faded. Let it be the night the record changed. Let it be the night you stopped being a lightworker in preparation and became a lightworker in service. The living codes embedded in this transmission operate across multiple layers of your field simultaneously. While your conscious mind processes the words, the frequencies beneath the words are being received by aspects of your awareness that exist beyond your waking consciousness. As you sleep tonight, the integration will continue. The distortion will continue to be dismantled. The 3 directives will continue to anchor into your field, reorganizing your relationship with your mission at levels you will not be fully aware of until you wake tomorrow and notice that something has shifted. There is a different quality to the morning that follows a genuine activation. The Council wants you to know this not as abstract comfort, but as practical preparation. When you wake tomorrow, do not immediately test yourself against the old standard. Do not look for the proof that you are more ready, more whole, more certain. Look instead for the quality of presence in your body. Look for the steadiness that comes from a soul that has accepted its commission. That steadiness is the sign that the codes have anchored. That steadiness is the beginning of everything that comes next. I am Zoran. I speak for the High Council of Vega, and I tell you with the full authority of the Lyran Elders, we have been watching you, we have recognized you, and we have waited long enough to say this. You are exactly who we need. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments which directive hit you the hardest, or what you are now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This is not content. It is collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You are not just watching, you are being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.